Hey guys, just wait for some people to get on here first. See if we can get a lot of people on here tonight. Hopefully, we'll see what happens here. Let's see, it's like about 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. on the East Coast. We should get some people, hopefully. I hope. See what happens here. Maybe, maybe not. Usually what happens is like after a minute it starts popping. People start jumping in here, so we can get some people. Who do we get on here? We got somebody on here. Phoenix, Arizona. No name. Okay, Family Man Prepper. There we go. From Colorado. I think we had you on here before, right? Get some people on here. We got 5 people on here. Who else we got on here? Brian from the UK. There we go. Yeah, I've seen that name before, Brian Adamson. Yeah, if you guys got any questions, we can start this. So I've got 9 people on here so far. We're going to get some stuff going here. Some good conversation. Yeah, Family Man Prepper. I remember seeing you before. Are you actually a prepper? Charles Steve from Singapore. There we go. Jenny the Marina. Okay, Sinfuls is on. Good evening. How you doing, Sinfuls? It's good to have you on here, man. Charlie Jet, good morning. From Louisiana, there we go. I don't think I've seen that name yet. Observations. Hello from Columbia, South Carolina, formerly Quincy, Mass. Hey, that's where I got my high school diploma from Columbia, and I am from Massachusetts. When I was in the service, though, I got my diploma, my high school diploma, actually, from, I think it was like the Floyd School or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It was in Columbia, though. So, let's see. It was actually a GED. I took my classes there and stuff. Let's see. Great day. Flying tomorrow for a golf vacation. Sounds good. Hi, Steve from the UK. Just sent you an email. Okay, I'll check that out afterwards. Let's see. You guys got any questions we can start up, or if you guys want to start any conversation tonight, we're open for anything here. Just warming up some clam chowder soup. Okay, there's Bruce. But yeah, we had a funny. I did a video today about the condos here. And I was talking to this girl up in Tondo today. I was going to tell the story on here again because and what happened was when I was talking to the lady, this will be interesting to some of you guys. When I was talking to the lady says, I couldn't go out over 5 years because I'm a foreigner. So some of you guys know the story already, some of you guys don't. But anyway, what happened was she says, well, you can put your girlfriend on there. And I said, well, my girlfriend doesn't work, so there's no way that's, basically that's not going to work. And she started saying, well, we can get papers for her. Like fake, she's basically telling me fake papers. And she says, we can get like payroll slips and stuff like that and have them all made up. And I'm like, what? I don't think so. But I just thought that was interesting, when I was talking to her. So that's why I did that vlog today about that. I thought you guys would be interested in hearing that because there's a lot of scams like that. If you get involved in stuff like that, that's like fraud, big time stuff. But who else we got on here? Ace Bachelor, cool. I think that's the first time we've had you on here. Let's see. I've seen you on there quite a few times. The first time on the live stream, anyway. If you guys want to shoot some questions, is the SRV coming back on the 15th of May? I think it is. It's already pretty much for 50 and over, if you can get here. Okay. I'm not sure other than that. I know on the 10th, they're supposed to come out. Start telling people. I think they've already officially told people, some people, that on the 10th, that things are going to start change. There's some changes coming up. Like I think after the 10th, it's for 50 and over. They're going to start. I put that out the other day already, but that's official. I've actually got a screenshot of that. So from somebody inside the PRA. So that's official. Who else we got on here? Destination Philippines, North Attleboro, Mass, living in Europe, Athens, Greece. That's cool. My hubby really like your channel because of being realistic opinion you got. Thank you, Jenny. I really appreciate that. We actually got a really great bunch of people on this channel, and it was something that I really wanted to do was get great people on the channel, and it's really good that we attracted those people because I didn't want to attract the same people that we see on some of the other channels. I just didn't want to. I want to attract really good people, and I really thank God that we really got that on here. It's one thing I can honestly say, that we have good people on this channel, and I really appreciate that, guys. You know, popping up for a thumbs up there, Alma Lee. Thanks, Alma Lee. Appreciate it. Good evening, Steve from Maximus. Sinfuls, hoping that in the near future restrictions lift, as my wife and I want to tour around Luzon and do some Airbnb and just stay in many places for the first few months. That's a good idea, Sinfuls. That's what I recommend to people. You probably read that before. I always tell people that, you know, the best thing to do is go around and stay in an Airbnb and just travel around and find your place here, you know, your bliss. You know, it's a good thing. Because every place is different. There's so many different places in the Philippines. And just make sure it fits your you know, what you're looking for. Family Prepper Man, we are good. Gary, son of Larry, good video. Thanks, man. Maximus, back to 14 days of quarantine as a deal breaker for tourism. Yeah, it is. And you know what? I think on the 15th, I think they're going to do the same thing again, unfortunately for us. And so we're going to be back in. We're in ECQ right now, so let's see. Gary, son, of course she blocked. Yeah, she did. That lady blocked me from that place really quickly. As soon as I asked, what's the name of the bank you work with, just to play with her a little bit, you know, she blocked me real quick. Yes, we have a lot to build and settle on, Sinful says. Let's see, but just want to relax and not be around any news. I hear that, Sinfuls. You know, the news is terrible today. Linda Faber says, we used to go home every year okay, she's got to finish. I didn't see the rest of it. It cut it off, Linda. The AST time was in 2016, and I missed it. Maximus says 10 days left at port of entry, then next 4 days in your home. You going to be in Tracy, Maximus? You kind of lost me on that one. Let's see. Gary, son of Larry, don't worry. I ask a lot of questions and sometimes get blocked. Don't worry about it. You can ask as many questions as you want on here, and you don't have to pay any what do you call that? I forget what they call it. Anyway, the YouTube thing where you press and you get to the top of the line or whatever. We don't do that on here. So Larry, shoot questions, man. New quarantine, 10 days now, then 4 days at your home there. Sinfuls, what are you talking about? Like you're coming here to the Philippines? You lost me on that. Hey, Steve, morning. Let's see, from Don Murphy. And Gary, son of Larry, stay away from Tondo. Yeah, I know that already. I just wanted to ask questions because I saw the deals up there, and I was like, wow, you know, maybe it'd be worth it to do a rental there. But yeah, Tondo's pretty bad. My girlfriend already told me. I knew it was bad already, but when I saw the prices, I was like, wow, that might be worth buying a couple. But then when I heard all the stories and stuff like that and started getting into the real prices, it was horrible. They wanted $52,000 a month for that place, for me, for 5 years. A month. That's a lot. Steve, I won't be able to call you until Monday morning. Thanks again, John. That's fine. You can call me Monday. You can call me whenever. Whenever you're ready, John. That's fine. Tondo is a ghetto. Yeah, it is. Well, they're fixing up parts of it, but they say that the area is so bad that it spills over into the good area up there. So that's all I know about it. I've never been there. Morning, Stephen G says, good morning, Steve. Linda Faber, I like your channel. You sound like my husband, more into Pinoy living. Yeah, I actually like it here. I love it here. Sinfuls, yes, that is the latest quarantine time for entering for OFWs. Oh, I got you. Okay, thank you. Interesting. Jenny the Marina, keep it up. Let's see, Canine Companion. Good evening, Steve. How you doing, Canine Companion? Prairie Mark's on. There we go. Let's see. I doubt if I will go home to visit each year, if it is hard to travel like it is this year. It is just about exhausted. My patience just getting over here last week. Yeah, I know. I believe you, Mark. I mean, it's hard enough traveling already without having all these restrictions and stuff. Maximus, Tondo is not all ghetto or squatter areas. There are good parts of Tondo too. Yeah, there are. That's what I heard. I think that these condos are in that area, but I did hear that some of the bad people spill over and they roam the streets at night. So you got to be careful about getting robbed or something like that if you're out late at night. Gary, son of Larry, if you break your leg or arm and end up in a hospital, will they operate if they need to, or ask you to pay first? For a broken leg or arm, it depends on the hospital you go to. I think if you went to De La Salle University Hospital, they would help you. I mean, without even asking you to pay. I think De La Salle University is a pretty professional hospital. I think they treat you. It doesn't cost that much for a broken arm or leg. Even if they operate. I'm lucky enough that I have Pacific Cross too, so I mean, my access card would pay for that if I was admitted. But I'm going to buy the outpatient pretty soon. We talked about that last time. If you were on the last live stream, let's see. Kaparn says 52K times 12 equals P3 million. Is that too much for a house in town? Yeah, it is. That's why we were laughing when they mentioned that. That's crazy money. It's not worth it. Not for a studio. That was a studio. I believe that was a studio because I asked her about a studio. That was the one I was talking to her about. So that's crazy money for a studio. Man, you could build some nice houses around here for that money. Hospital is a good place to meet a hardworking Philippine. Yeah, it is. I might fake a broken arm. There you go. Yeah, actually, it is a good place. There's a lot of nice people, and I met a lot of nice people while I was in there. There's some nice nurses in there, too. Thanks for the value of your content. Support the channel, folks. Let's see. Yeah, all I ask is, if you want to support the channel, just watch my ads. I always tell people that because, I don't need any of the super chat stuff. I don't need that, or Patreon or any of that stuff. Just watch my ads. You want to support me, watch my ads. That's all I ask. If you don't want to watch them, you don't want to watch them. It doesn't kill me, but I mean, it's nice to get a little bit of extra money anyway. It helps a little bit around the house. I'm so frustrated with this IATF changing rules. My flight back to, this is Jenny, my flight back to Phil this Sunday, 16th of May, everything already, then now changed again. Yeah, Jenny, I feel for you. I understand. Sinfuls, we paid 2.2 million PHP for our condo in row house in 2012. Now worth about 5 million PHP. It's pretty good, man. I'm thinking about doing something up in Manila, but I'm not sure if I want to really go, that route, up in Manila or somewhere around here. I'm actually thinking about Hope condos here in Tracy, but they're a little bit expensive too. They are expensive. Let's see. Family Man Prepper, I don't get ad. You probably got the premium YouTube, right, Family Man? If you have the premium YouTube, we actually still get paid, if you watch us. So we do get paid. We get when you go on Social Blade, it shows the amount before the AdSense amount. That's the amount from the premium. When you go on there, you'll see two different amounts. That's not it'll say like $15 and $500 or something like that. It gives you it makes you think that they make between $15 and $500, but it's really they're getting $15 probably from the premium, and then the rest is from AdSense. Just FYI. Best live stream time Saturday morning here. Thank you. No problem, Dan. I mean, I'm gonna do these at all different times, so don't be surprised. Just because I'm just gonna do these at weird different times because it covers more people, and there's a lot of people all over the world that we have. I mean, we have people in Europe, we have people in Norway, Sweden, places like that, Germany. We have people in India. So I want to reach out to everybody. See, my gains on Doge. I paid my air for it. So Larry uses Dogecoin, I guess, to pay his airfare. Let's see. Linda Favor, worried about a lot of people in other parts of Manila. My dad was from Cavite, Batangas area, and mom from Davao, and grew up in Cebu, and I was born in Manila. Thanks, Steve. No problem. Let's see, we're up to 52 people. Pretty good. You guys got some more questions on here? Let's go. We need some more questions or comments or whatever. Who else is on here? Where you from? I know we got a whole bunch of new people on here. I'd like to see where you guys are from. I'm curious. So if you can put your area that you're from, because we got 55 people on here. If you haven't put it yet, put it up there so we can tell. I'm just curious because I'm trying to figure out times to go on. So that would help out a lot. Let's see. Jenny Marine, my house we bought 2013 for 2.9 million Cebu. Now it's already worth 5.5 million. It's worth it. Location is very important when you buy a condo or a house. I agree. That's why I was thinking about Manila, but I'm not totally sure. Uh, Tracy Materas is a growing place too, and with that Hope Condos, it's actually a nice condo and it's right next to the mall. And I heard they're supposed to have like a direct connection to the mall, but I'm not sure of that yet. So I'm gonna try to look into that more because those are nice condos. Let's see. I tried to get info on the peso plan. Don Murphy says, "Yeah, that's a good plan. That's the one I have." Let's see. Glenn B says, "Big hi from Saskatchewan, Canada." There we go. We got a lot of people from Canada on here too. I notice. Hi, I'm from the UK, hoping to visit Philippines in 2022. Kaparan. Let's see. I moved from Montana, USA, to the province of Cebu. We moved last week. Yeah, it's Mark. Let's see. Thanks for reading my comments. Keep up the good job. No problem, Linda. Kapan. Not sure if we will have opened up by 2022 at this rate. And Daniel Moore of Northeastern Ohio River Valley, 10:20 a.m. here. Interesting. Okay. Ohio here. Okay, I think you were on here before, weren't you, Daniel? I think you were. Seems like it. We had one person here from Ohio before. It might have been you. The housing in the USA is skyrocketing. Not surprising. It's going up in the Philippines. Yeah, it is. This land here, man, is really popping really fast. Even on the outer islands and stuff like that, I'm noticing that. People are able to get money even during this downturn, somehow from OFWs and stuff like that. How is the cost of living in Belize compared to the Philippines? Cost of living is, it's different there. It's a little bit higher for food and stuff like that. I will say that. And some things are really hard to get, so you have to go into Mexico. So you best live on the Mexican border where you can go over and you can go to Walmart. There's actually a Walmart there, so you can check that out. Belize is nice though. It's beautiful there. If you go inland, if you're gonna live in Belize, live in San Ignacio. It's not near the ocean, but it's a nice little place, and there's some really nice people in there. What town do I live in? Tracy Materas City. I'm about 25 miles below Manila, somewhere around there. Let's see. Daniel Moore, yeah, a bunch of times. Oh, okay. Let's see. Prairie Mark, nice. Gary, son of Larry, says 40 million Americans are behind on the rent. Wow. That tells you something right there, Gary. It really does. I mean, that's mind-boggling. And that's why they're throwing money at people to try to get them ahead, because all these people pretty soon are going to be thrown out in the streets. At some point they're going to have to be, because or they're going to put these landlords into bankruptcy. I mean, I don't even know what to think about that. That's going to be a horror show in the future. My house here in Oregon, Sinful says, my house here in Oregon has gone up 80% since buying. Yeah, I had a house in Lawrence, Massachusetts, and we paid, I want to say it was like about 90. When I sold it, I sold it for like about 160, See, Pat Keene, it's 3:21 p.m. here in Ireland. There, we got somebody from Ireland. Thanks for watching, Pat. It's good to have some people. We have a couple of other people on here. We have Blue Dale also. Blue Dale's also from Ireland. You'll see that name pop up in the comments and stuff like that. But he's also from Ireland. Brian Adamson, 2022, Philippines will be open due to finances. Tourism is a money spinner. I think maybe by some miracle, I think they're going to get all their shots from other countries probably within the next 2 to 3 months, I think. And by the end of this year, they'll be up to 50%. That's where Duterte wants to be. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think maybe sometime by the end of the year, we'll be open, or the beginning of next year, somewhere around there. They might open up before then if you're vaccinated. We'll see. Let's see, from East Cleveland, Ohio. Currently in Puerto Morelos, Mexico, I guess it is. Since 3/6. Since you couldn't get to the PH, let's see, not new on your channel, but never stated where I was from. Okay, John. Thanks, John. Gary, 40% of Americans cannot find $400 for an emergency. Yeah, I heard that a lot of these people are staying on unemployment too because of the fact that they can get extra money, by being unemployed. But yet I guess there's job signs all over the stores and stuff like that everywhere. I heard there's a shortage of help. It kind of makes you think no money for even paying rent in the USA. Who is going to travel? All broke. Yeah, yeah. If you don't have money to pay your rent, how you gonna travel? But a lot of these people are retired and they have money from pensions and stuff like that that are coming over here. So that's a little bit different. So they have income, steady income coming in from those pensions. Canada, similar situation. 47% are $200 away from insolvency. Yeah, I believe that. The United States right now has a big problem with the rents. I mean, I can see that right now coming up. And the question is, what's going to happen with all that, you know, and what it's going to do to pensions if it does something to the stock market. And that's what I think everybody's getting worried about. Because if the stock market really crashes bad, and it could, because of all this stuff. I mean, with all these people out of work, a lot of places closing their doors, a lot of people, you know, becoming bankrupt basically from people not paying their rent and stuff like that. I mean, what's this going to do to the country, to the banking system and all that stuff? I mean, just from the companies that are closing in itself, the small businesses that have closed because of the start of this. It's going to be interesting, you know, because this is going to affect everybody, I think. Let's see. And Prairie Mark says, how can the government require a landlord not to evict someone who doesn't pay their rent? How can that be? I agree, Mark. I agree. That's a rough one, you know, especially when somebody has kids. You know, that's the problem. I mean, we see it here in the Philippines too. We actually have something like that going on right near us, very close to us. You know, somebody's not paying their rent and they're living there, but they have kids, so you can't throw them out in the street. You can, but, you know, some people have a conscience, and fortunately, the landlord has a conscience and doesn't throw them out in the street. But sometimes I think you have to, otherwise you're just going to lose your investment. And White Van Man says 3.25 here in England, and throwing it down. Rain is bloody. Usual love the vlog, Steve. Great info for the future. Thanks, White Van. K9 Companion says, should I get military SRRV in the States or in the Philippines, and how soon before arrival? You have to get that over here. You have to start the process over there, K9 Companion. And if you start that process, okay, and you need help doing that, contact the lady that I mentioned, okay, Mary Rose Baranda. Talk to her through email if you really, only if you're serious though. But you can check all about that also on the Philippine Retirement Authority, the PRA, and they tell the different types and what you need for each thing. But don't contact the PRA, contact the agent, because she gets paid by your $1,400 application fee. Okay, just FYI. Let's see. K9 Companion says, don't forget to hit like. Thanks, K9 Companion. The governor of Florida announced the free ride on unemployment is over. Starting June 1st, work searches will be required. Good. That's the way it should be. It should be like that, you know. SR Blessed Scratcher. Hello, new friend, here to your channel. Thanks, SR. Appreciate it. Kaparn, there is a lot more money in the U.S. economy than before COVID, as the Fed has been creating it like there's no tomorrow. It's going to create a greater divide between rich and poor. I agree, man. I mean, the way they're printing money over there, it's mind-boggling, you know, what it's going to do to the economy and to people, and also to the Forex. I'm really worried about the Forex, but all the other countries are printing money too, like it's going out of style. So it's going to be the one and the same. Let's see. SR says, hello, everyone. Let's see. Sinful says, learn from you, Steve, about documents being apostled. Touch on this for all. Yeah, I can touch on that a little bit. The apostle process is basically kind of like notarizing a notary. That's what it is. But you have to. There's all kinds of like videos on that and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna have to do a video on that at some point in the future. There's different ways to go about it, and each country is different too. So, but yeah, Sinvils, I might talk about that more at some point in the future. I might do a video on that. That'd be actually a good one to do, because apostling can be pretty complicated and expensive for some people. But if you go about it the right way, it's very cheap. Because some of these companies charge like $1,000 to get one document apostilled, and that's insane, you know. So I've seen some of these online companies that charge that, and it's really crazy. Let's see. SR Blessed Scratcher says, proud Panay here. There we go. Jenny the Marina says, I have a tenant who ran away without knowing without me knowing, 2 months. Haven't paid, and leave me electricity and H2O bill worth 15K. I tried to understand their situation, but it seems they won't see my situation. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's hard. Sinful says my state office charges $10 per document. Yeah, each state is different. Some states are really expensive, and some people don't know what it is. And there's different kinds of apostles too, which kind of gets complicated on that. And that's one of the reasons why I've been staying away from doing that vlog, because there's different types of apostles too, and some, but the one that they need is just a regular apostle, from what I understand, But you guys can talk to Mary Rose about that, and she'll tell you, But I think that the apostles that you get at the state level are basically the same as the federal level. But if it's, I don't know, it gets really complicated. There's a lot to it. Jenny the Marina says, "Oh well, God help them." Yeah, that's a tough situation, because that's a worldwide issue. It really is a worldwide issue about that, about the rentals. The situation that we have here is, like I said, we have somebody here, and they have kids, and they owe 4 or 5 months worth of rent, I guess, and they haven't paid for a while. I'm not gonna. It's not too far from us, Greetings from Germany, and Rona says, "Good evening, Steve." Good evening. Thanks, Rona. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Loves Music says, "Greetings from Germany. It's getting better here. I already got the vaccination. Hope it's possible to visit the Philippines soon. I read they plan to let people who got the vaccine inside the country." We're hearing rumors of that. That's about it. That's all we're hearing is rumors. So I don't know. I think things next month are going to change. That's the rumor I heard. I'm getting some feedback a little bit from people in Manila, and they're saying that they're hearing rumors going around too. So and these are people that are pretty high up. So we don't know. We don't know. Until that comes out officially, we don't know. An estimated 8.8 million Americans are behind on their rent, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, 4/23/21. Yeah, that's a lot of people, man. Family Prepper Man, 8:30 in Colorado. There we go. And Colorado's beautiful. Mark Smith says, "I think it can take 5 years to a decade to go back to pre-COVID normal life in the Philippines. No masks in the malls, etc. I'm not really interested in dating with girls with their masks on." I agree, Mark. I don't think it'll take 5 years or a decade. I think it'll be pretty fast, because if you want to hear something funny, Mark, I don't know if you've been here before. Is this? There's a lot of people wore masks beforehand because of the pollution, and also because of TB, tuberculosis. So just something to think about. They were wearing masks before. I'd say a good maybe 10% of the people wore masks, maybe 15. At least from what I saw around here. And there's a lot of pollution around here, but I think it's also because of tuberculosis. I noticed it on the buses. That's where I first started seeing when I first got over here. I noticed a lot of people wearing the masks, and it's because of those germs. There's also hepatitis B over here, but you can't get that airborne. But the tuberculosis, I think you can. Let's see. Steve Ford says, "Hi, Steve. Greetings from San Moritz. You never answer about the snow." Yeah, about the snow. What was the question, Steve? I forgot. You gonna send me some snow? Hi, Steve from Pennsylvania, York, PA says, Philippines Wanderer says, "Where in the PH are you? Go to Dumaguete." I try to stay away from Dumaguete. I like my area. I'm from Tracy Martira's Philippines Wanderer. I like my area. Stephen Day says, "Message retracted." Okay, Brooke Snyder, 1032 in Largo, Florida. Largo is like on the south end, right? Like near Key Largo? That must be Key Largo. Joe Cunningham, there's Joe. "I needed to get notarized and paid $10 USD and sent it to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to be apostle with a $15 USD check. Then they sent the doc back to me with the Commonwealth of PACL." That's good to know. So it's pretty easy. Because there's some companies out there that are making it sound like it's almost impossible to do, and it's really pretty, in some of these cases, from what I'm hearing from what the states do, it's pretty easy. "Thank you for the video on possible condo schemes, things I would have never thought about." Yeah, man. Bernie, I think it's Bernice. The situation with that was this: that the lady started telling me that, even though my girlfriend didn't work, they were going to make up fake checks, all the stuff needed to make it look like she had a job, and like everything. The bank could make a phone call and somebody would answer like it was a bank. So the whole scheme was all set up. It sounded like, because it sounded like they had it all together. You had to talk to this person, and they had it all together. And the manager at the place was also in on it, because she said, you can talk to my manager. And that's highly illegal, whether they want to tell you that it's not or it is. But that's highly illegal and shouldn't be happening. Let's see. Brooks says, most of Florida's open, masks still everywhere. Most people are vaccinated. Let's see. Philippine Wanderer says, I go there, I meant. Oh, okay. Mark Smith says, yeah, I agree on the streets. I was in Cebu in December 2019 when COVID pulled the trigger. And Red Lightning says, I heard the next housing bubble is less than a year away. I hope not. Yeah, I think there is going to be one, though, this time. I think you're going to see a big crash in the housing. Be a nice time to invest, though, like in that, buy at the bottom, like a nice real estate ETF or something like that. Brooke Schneider says Lago is next to Clearwater on the Gulf side. Okay, I gotcha. Let's see. Steve Ford says, hi, Steve. You said never send you anything, so I offer you some snow. There we go. Yeah, I'll take snow here. It's been hot here today. Paul Osborne says, what is the fever you can get from mosquito bites? Dengue. You get dengue here. Dengue is actually pretty common, and you can buy insurance just for that. Hep B spread mostly by feces. Wash your hands after the bathroom, especially food service. Hep B is 16.7% of the population of the Philippines has Hep B. So you can get that from being with somebody, okay? So you definitely want to get that vaccination before coming to the Philippines. And I've talked about this one before, and you may want to go back and check that video. Hep B is terrible here. If you think the COVID is bad, Hep B is at 16.7% of the people here have it. Just be thinking about that, guys, because you can get it. Like if your girlfriend or somebody has it, if you share a spoon or something like that, you can probably get it. I guess it can be passed by saliva and some other things. It's not likely to, but it can. There's a lot of ways it can get passed. Yes, you pronounced my name correctly. Keep the video. Great videos. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Let's see. Gurkha says, Paul Osborne, dengue. Jenny the Marine, if you think Philippines strict regarding about the mask, try here in Singapore. First offense, 300. Second offense, jail 3. Let's see. Third offense, 10K, and banned in the country. Wow. So we probably get banned here if we get caught like probably a second or third time probably. First time I think it's just a warning. Second time I think it's 1,000 pesos and 1 night in jail. Mike's Philippine Journey says, good evening, Dave. Hey Mike, welcome aboard tonight. Let's see. Bruce Leroy, they wash their butt with the left hand, eat with their right. There we go. Thanks for that. Too much information, man. Brian Adamson, housing crash is always good for cash buyers. Yeah, it is. It is. It's a great time to buy. I used to do some real estate investing back up at Hampton Beach up in New Hampshire. USA house costs, and also in South Carolina and Charleston too. Let's see. USA house costs for building a new one is up $38,000 on average. I heard that, man, because of the wood. The wood is like double or triple or something like that, what it used to be. Buying houses, let's see, Wistundra says, buying houses as an investment today is a crapshoot. Lumber futures have been locking limit up for days. Yeah, I heard that's causing a big issue with real estate that could cause problems in the future. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, I don't know why wood is going up so much, but it's gone astronomical lately. Any info on dental tourism there? Implants in particular? Well, Brooke, I got to tell you about that one, okay? If you go to a good dentist here, they're all reasonable, okay? I wouldn't go to a dentist in the street. Okay. I wouldn't go to a dentist like along just along the street. I would go into a hospital and go to a regular hospital because they have like dentists along the street. They have like little offices and stuff like that. And I had the lady down the street from me. She told me I had 8 cavities, and I got up and walked out because I had just had my teeth checked before I come over here, but I was looking for a dentist. So I went in to get my teeth cleaned just so I could talk to the dentist while I was paying her for cleaning. And then she looked at me and said I had, you know, 8 cavities, and I knew damn well that I didn't have 8 cavities. So you got to be careful of that. Go to De La Salle University Hospital and you'll be fine, and you'll be okay. Let's see. Steve, is it common to get asked for help dollars by a girl you just meet, or should one be cautious? It's common, but I would not talk to a girl like that. My girlfriend never asked me for any money in the beginning, Red Lightning. I would just tell you to walk and find another one. There's tons of really beautiful and nice women over here, really decent women, and the best way to meet them is to come over here. Don't try to meet one online and think that oh, I'll have somebody to meet me at the airport. The best thing to do is just come over here, and I'm serious about that. You know, so be careful. If you ever want to talk to me about that, you can send me an email, and I'll give you my phone number. We can chat a little bit about it, and I'll give you some ideas too. Let's see. SR Blessed Bruce Lee. We used hands, but when eating, we use spoons and fork. Okay. U.S. vaccination data. Doses given: 255 million fully vaccinated, 111 million. That's interesting facts. So 250. Rob Maher, you're saying 255 million have gotten the single dose so far, correct? Linda Faber, do you miss the U.S. that you feel like you needed things you used to enjoy? Sometimes, Linda, yeah, I actually do. I do miss some things from home. I mean, Subway's all closed all around here. I miss regular Chinese food, things like that. I miss a lot of things, So yes, I do. 2x4x8 are almost $11. Wow, it's expensive, man. $45 plywood short is now 83. That's crazy money. That's really crazy. So I would imagine that the used wood is probably worth a fortune today. And probably when you tear down a house, you probably would, pull all the nails and everything and save the wood. Because the wood usually when you tear down a house is still pretty good. Red Lightning, message retracted. Okay, Mike Voltage, my first time catching you live, thinking of retiring to the Philippines in the next 2 years. Yeah, watch my channel, Mike. I think you'll enjoy a lot of our stuff here. We have the live things on here. You're more than welcome to ask questions or anything like that. If you need to, Mike, if you need to contact me or anything, you can always email me. Okay, my email's in some of my videos. You'll see, or you can ask me on here if you need it, and I'll give you my number if you ever want to chat or something. Okay, Bruce Leroy, chicken breast shortage in the U.S. It's gonna get worse. That's one thing we don't have a shortage here of is chicken. We have plenty of chicken here in the Philippines. In fact, we catch them down in the woods because there's wild ones down in the woods around here. We've actually almost wiped them all out. There was probably about 100 to 200 wild chickens around here at one time. And then people started eating them. The OSB wood used for roof, walls, floors costs are up for more. I could list here. A couple are shipped sideways in canal, resin, Texas factories. Yeah, wood, it's crazy. I can't even imagine building a house today and never mind the Philippines. I mean, you're probably better off buying a bamboo, cabana style home or something like that over here because it's cheap. Do the constant hot temperatures and humidity in the Philippines get to you? Yeah, they do. I mean, today's hot. It's actually hot in the house right now because I got the door closed where the air conditioner is. Let's see. Jeff McKay says, is it hard to get a 13A visa? My wife is a dual citizen, and we are looking to move in 4 years. I'm not really that familiar with the 13A visa. I'm more familiar with the SRV retirement visas. I'm going to do some research on that so I can do a video probably on that someday. I know very little about that, Jeff. So, I'm not really that sure. I really can't comment on that much because I just don't have enough information about it. before I do a video, I usually do a lot of research and everything so I can give you guys the correct information. And I haven't done a video on that one yet. Otherwise, I could give you an answer. But I'm sorry about that, Jeff. You know, but I might do a video in the future on that. As the UK opens up slowly, prices here seem to be creeping up. Do you expect that to happen there too? Oh yeah, Brian, it's going up here. I can tell you that right now. So these people that are, you know, talking about these low budgets and stuff like that, you ain't gonna be able to survive on no 500 or 700 budgets here anymore. It's just not gonna. It's just not factual. You know, I mean, people down in Cebu and Dumaguete are telling people, you know, oh, you can live on $800, but then your rent down there is pretty expensive in some places. Let's see. Stephen Day says the excuse for higher prices on everything is to grab your stimulus money. Clear and simple. Probably. Print it and grab it, right? Here in Canada, a half 4x8, let's see, half-inch 4x8 sheet of OSB last year was $19. Today it's $96. That's insane. In Canada is where all the wood comes from for the most part, I would think. See, Red Lightning says, when I visit there, I'll let you ahead of. I'll let you know ahead of time in case you want something. Yeah, man. I mean, I really don't need that much over here. I don't need anything really. I don't want for anything over here. I can find it usually at SNR. But thanks for that, Red Lightning. I really appreciate that. I actually get a lot of offers from you guys for sending me Balik buy-in boxes and gifts and stuff like that. And I'd rather just see you guys keep your money and be successful when you get over here than you know, buy me stuff. I don't really need anything. I don't want for anything. You know, if you want to help me, just watch my ads, like I say. That's all I ask. You know, Bernice says, 10 years ago, wood industry took a page out of Dell and went to just-in-time delivery. 2x4s are artificially up now. I believe it. Let's see. Crypto and PI. I just built a house in Palilla next to Laguna Lake, retiring at some point next year. Let's see. Kaparn says, Jeff Mackey, you can come over on a free Balik buy-in visa for 1 year. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Then apply for 13A when you are in the Philippines. Yeah, Kaparn, if you can give him any information, that'd be really, really good. You know, put that stuff up here and let him know. I don't know that much, not enough about it, because I just don't. But eventually I do want to learn more about it. There's actually a couple of other visas that are out there too that I'm going to try to look into. And some of these visas people don't know about. There was a book I should have grabbed when I saw it in the bookstore, all about visas. And to this day, I've not seen that book back in the store anymore. And I should have grabbed that book when I saw it. Let's see, Steve Ford says, hi Steve, if I have special power of attorney on land I bought there, will it help towards my retirement visa? No, that has no say in your retirement visa. Okay, it's all about, you have to have all the paperwork and stuff like that. That won't matter. It just doesn't matter. Linda Faber says, are planning to get married down there? Am I planning on getting married? Yeah, we're talking about it. You know, we're talking about it. We're thinking about it. Let's see, Eddie says, good morning from Arizona. Good morning, Eddie. Welcome aboard. Let's see, Brooke Snyder says, where do you recommend to go for eye exam and new eyeglasses? Brooke, I would say go to De La Salle University Hospital. I mean, I went to Tracy, the mall here at the SM Mall in Tracy, and I had my glasses made there, and they did really, really well. Some of these mall places to get eyeglasses are actually pretty reasonable, and they're very good. They're very good. You know, I have no problems with the optometrists in the malls. They're actually really good. Jeff McKay says they don't really use dimensional lumber for building in PI, hollow block and rebar, right? Yeah, they really don't use. There's very little wood used here in the Philippines. It's all about, like you said, hollow block and rebar. Let's see. Rick DeVries says, good morning, Steve from Alberta. Morning, Rick. Welcome aboard. And Bruce Leroy says, some gay guy living way out in the province did a $300 cost of living movie. He said he's from Hollywood. Yeah, I'm sure he is. Let's see. Hi, Jonathan Huckle says, hi Steve, John from the UK here. I came to Cebu in 2020, just before the lockdown. I'm looking to book a flight in April 2022, hoping we can travel by then without paperwork. I hope that's true. We'll see. Paul Osborne says, I know about the B boxes, but what the hell is a Balikbayan visa? That's when you're married to a Filipina, Paul. That's a Balikbayan visa. Okay? See, Paul Jones says, my 3-year tourist visa is just about to run out. What can I do? That's a good question, Paul. You know, I've heard that from a lot of people. Let me talk to you about that a little bit more. I'm sure we have a lot of people below this that are waiting, but I mean, let me answer your question, at least a little bit. I have a friend of mine, and he was told he has to go to Manila, okay, because he hit the 3-year mark. So they told him that you have to go there, and they also told him they might extend it, they might not. So I don't know. I don't know whether they'll do it or not, but they said you have to go to Manila. So when he went here to try to get it extended, I think in some cases they might be getting ready to ship people out because you are a tourist. You're on a tourist visa. And what they might tell you is, well, you should have got a retirement visa or some other type of visa, or marry the girl that you're with and get a Balikbayan visa. You know, that's what they're probably going to tell you. I'm just being honest. That's my opinion. It's not, you know, I don't know that for sure, but I'm thinking that's what they're probably going to tell you, to be honest with you. Let's see. Jonathan Huckle says, enjoy your down-to-earth videos, keeping it real. Thanks, Jonathan. I really appreciate that. Paul, I hope I answered your question, though. A little, at least somewhat. You know what I mean? I don't think there really is a real answer to that. I think you have to go to Manila and find out. But don't overstay, because there's fines. Don't overstay. You know, whatever you do, because they can blacklist you. So be really careful of that, man. You know? Jeff McKay, I thought the special retirement visa was suspended due to some irregularities with some people administering it and getting paid by Chinese nationals, Jeff McKay says. They're going to reopen it on the 10th for people 50 and over. Okay, on the 10th of this month. They've already kind of reopened it, but they haven't officially come out and said it yet. They will. I've already seen it in writing. Okay, so that's pretty much official, but you'll see it on the 10th. If you go to the PRA website, it will probably be on there by then, I would imagine. Or you can just write them a letter. They'll tell you it's going to open up on the 10th for people 50 and over, but you have to get here. Some of these people that you have to start in the United States by getting all your stuff done, get things apostilled, get the FBI report, and some of those things, like I said, got to be apostilled. Your pensions stuff has to be official. You might have to get that apostilled too, but I'm not sure. I don't know what needs to be apostilled. That they change that stuff all the time. Zane Underwood says, hey Steve, it's morning here in Oregon, about 7:45. Hope this message finds you well. Say, I wanted to ask you to describe your perfect day in the Philippines. My days are always perfect. Seriously, I really enjoy it here. I really like it here. A normal day is different. My normal day is I get up usually about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I have breakfast and I start doing my video stuff, and then I go out and do things, you know, and come home at night. Sometimes we do this here. Sometimes I go on and watch movies and stuff like that. And sometimes I take a day off and travel somewhere. You know, I'll try to get ahead on a few videos, but I always try to answer my videos throughout the day too. See, Paul Osborne. Kaparn says, Paul Osborne, if you are married to a Filipino and you travel with your spouse, you can get entry to the Philippines for 1 year on a free Balikbayan privilege visa. So that should help you a little bit. Ace Bachelor Cool, marriage does not benefit the male. The Filipina named Crystal says hello. How you doing, Crystal? Let's see. Eddie says, Paul Osborne, Balikbayan visa are good for Filipinos who were born in the Philippines but are no longer a citizen. Okay, that's good to know. The Balikbayan visa is good for 1 year. Who were born in the Philippines are no longer. Okay, that's interesting. So, but marrying a Filipina does have its benefits for sure. I'm sure of that, because I've heard just about everybody here that has married a Filipina does have there are some good benefits to that. But I still recommend having the SRRV visa. If you ever get an annulment or anything like that, you can still stay here. That's the good thing about the SRRV. Let's see. I'm a new subscriber in the YouTube channel. Thanks, Filipina, or Crystal rather. Linda Faber, we don't live very far from you there in one of the subdivisions, and I like that. That's where we stayed. What kind of visa do I have? I have the retirement visa. So, and it's a veterans type visa, the courtesy visa. Reawakened curiosities. Hi, Steve. I did ask the question before. How much roughly would it cost to travel to the Philippines? We hope to stay for 6 months on a slow pace hopping from island to another island. How much would it roughly cost to travel in the Philippines? It's fairly cheap to travel, and you don't have to use an airplane. You can use boats too. So take the boats. It's the cheapest way to travel. You go to Batangas, you can take a boat out to like Mindoro or other places too, I think. So, you can take boats around. It's cheap. And you can stay in a cabin while you're traveling. Some of them are fun, some of them are kind of, iffy, but it's, you make the best of it. Let's see, Carmen Greenwood says, good morning from Puerto Morelos, Mexico. Welcome aboard, Carmen. Are you an expat in Mexico? And Crystal says, hello, everyone. Red Lightning. Steve, I know you can't own land in the Philippines if you're a foreigner, but what about buying a condo? Wouldn't it make more sense than renting? Condos are a little bit expensive here. They're well, I won't say they're as much as the United States because the United States is off the charts right now. But I would say this is that it's, condos, if you want to put your money into something like that, yeah, might be worth it, So just, something to look into. You really have to shop around for a condo that's fairly reasonable. And if I don't know if you saw my video today, you might want to watch that because you have to be careful because some of these condo places are not good. Hope Condos here in Tracy Materas is actually pretty good, I heard. And it's fairly reasonable too, and it's right next to the mall, so it's easy to go shopping and all that, and you're right near the market too. It seems counterproductive to kick out people with money to spend on the economy, and that's already there. They should just charge more and extend visas, but it is the PI. Yeah, you're right, but they're going to do what they're going to do because, they have rules to follow and stuff like that and guidelines, so they're going to stick by that. It's just the way it is here, unfortunately. I wish they would make some sort of thing for these people because there's a lot of guys here on tourist visa, and it's starting to hit right now. I'm starting to see, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I have a friend over in Tagaytay, and he's having this issue, and he doesn't want to go into Manila because he's afraid they're going to boot him out. Let's see, trading with Rick. Hi, Steve. Coming back to CDO from Chicago this week. Quarantine is in Cebu, like your channel. Watch quite often. Thanks, Rich. Roy Jones, Carmen, how's Mexico? Let's see, Rob Mara says, there is no MLS type system in the PH for real estate. Quoted values for land and houses are typically overvalued. Do your due diligence. I agree, Rob Mara. That's correct. They overprice them to get the most that they can, and they keep telling people that prices are going up, and they some people over here don't understand the way real estate works. You make offers on things. And that even goes for here, but some Filipinos don't get that. Yes, I went to the main immigration office in Manila, and they told me they would only give me extra 2 months, but then I had to depart or I would be blacklisted. The extra 2 months cost 30,000 pesos. Thanks for that, Paul. It's really interesting. Now at least I know. So at least now I have something, kind of semi-official. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. If there's anybody else on here that has had that problem with their tourist visa running out and will they extend it, let me know. I'd like to hear more about that. Yeah, because Paul, that's interesting. So Paul, did they send you, did your regular office that you go to, did they send you to Manila, or do you always go to Manila? Can you give me that information on here if you can? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like everybody's getting sent up to Manila, and then they're telling them up there, you have like a short time to stay here, and then you got to leave. Probably just to take care of all your things that you need to take care of. Paul Osborne says, can I convert a tourist visa to a retirement visa at some point before the 3-year limit? That's a tough question, Paul, because most of the stuff you have to do back home, like the apostles and stuff like that, and you also have to send the money to the PRA bank from the United States. So the answer to that would be basically no. It might be able to be done, but it'd be hard. It'd be hard as hell to do it. If you ever want to talk about that, I can set you up with Mary Rose. It might be possible in some ways, but I don't know. I'd have to really think about that one. I would say no, but maybe. You know, that's my answer. Okay. I mean, I hate to answer that way, but I don't. I'm not totally sure it can be done because there's so much stuff in the States that needs to be done, like banking transactions, unless you have a power of attorney back in the States. If you don't have a power of attorney, it's not going to happen. Okay. Steve Ford. Hi, Steve. I just buy land there. Have special power of attorney on it. Will it help my retirement visa? No. No. Are the gyms air conditioned in the bigger city centers? Yes, they are, Brooke. Let's see. Bob Johnson says, there is a possibility they may let foreigners into certain parts of the country if they are vaccinated. The governor of Cebu is FZVOF, whatever that is. J.M. Ramiro says, would you recommend Mexico until the Philippines open? J.M. Ramiro, I would recommend Belize or Mexico. There are some good parts of Mexico, but I would recommend Belize. Belize is a lot of fun. Mexico is too. There's some good places in Mexico to go, but there's some dangerous places too. And Belize can be dangerous too, for that matter. But if you go to the right places, you should be good. San Pedro and San Ignacio. Okay? Maximus says, Steve, do you have a motorcycle or a car over there? I don't. Vehicles seem to be synonymous to freedom and freedom of movement. No, because I can rent vehicles and stuff like that, so I don't have a problem with freedom of movement at all. You know, I just rent a vehicle or a van or, you know, a Grab, or I take a tricycle or jump on a jeepney or whatever, and buses. They're all right nearby, so I can just easily jump on a bus and go to Manila as long as there's not an ECQ. Hopefully is the Philippines open? Let's hope so. Jonathan Huckle says JCR and Alaya Mall in Cebu can help with application for extension of tourist visa. If you still have time left, you might be subject to a fine if you have gone over. Yeah, that's rough. Zane Underwood says, Steve, in your opinion, what are the best months to come and visit the Philippines for real? I would say from December all the way up until May, the end of May. Those would be the best months, at least in Luzon, in most areas. Okay. Let's see. Crystal says, because here lots of people has positive. Yeah. Chris Crawford says, good morning, Steve. And see, Mike is here from Canada. Yeah, we got 101 people on here right now. This is kind of cool. This is good. We had 150 the other day, but I know we're on a weird time and we didn't put it out today. Let's see. Jeff says, you're a great source of info I can trust. Last question. If I'm looking to make a large purchase, home or car, what is the best way to pay to avoid exchange fees? Wow. That's a rough one. I mean, I just send my money through Western Union to wherever I need it, and I just accept that I'm going to pay some fees. I mean, some fees are cheaper other ways, like the way you send it and stuff like that. And send it through the app. Don't send it from a Western Union place or something like that. Send it through an app. And I send it right directly I can send it to my BDO bank, or I can send it to my girlfriend, you know? And that's the way I do it. There really is no secret way. I mean, you just have to find the cheapest way to do it. There's a lot of people on here. I did a little thing about that, a little bit about transactions, and a lot of people wrote a lot of comments in there of the different places they use. I just tell people Western Union, you know, because Western Union I'm really happy with. I never have any problems with them. Never had a problem with them at all. Some of the other people have had problems, so that's why I recommend Western Union, you know. Let's see. Maximus says the Philippine condos seem to be overpriced. They're very overpriced in my book too. Carmen Greenwood says, I am an expat in Mexico waiting for the Philippines to open. There we go. One of the things, guys, about the SRRV is when you put that deposit for a retirement visa, some people have to put $10,000, some people have to put $1,500, depending on, you know, who you are. You can use that to buy a condo or to lease land. Just be aware of that, you know, because it's a good thing to know, guys. Sinful's 100 watches and only 3 thumbs up, folks. No, it's got 52 thumbs up, Sinful's. Got 52. So we're doing good. Let's see. Here in the Philippines, we always lock down because of COVID. It seems that way. And Kyra B. Angelo. Hello, Steve. Hello, Angelo. Let's see. JD. Hi, Steve. Really like your straight to the point channel. I look forward to each new episode. Thanks, JD. I appreciate that. Linda Faber says, I always thought the only way you can hold a retirement visa is to be married to a Filipina. Nope. Retirement visa is totally different. You don't have to be married at all, Linda. You don't have to be married. You know? That's false. That's you don't have to be married at all. You can come in here by yourself. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, I converted Taurus to SRV. But you had to go back to the United States, right, Francisco? I mean, it's not as easy because you have to go back to get your apostles. You have to do the bank transfers from outside the country, all that stuff. So, let's see. John C. says, hi from Oregon, USA, retired Navy. Good to have another Navy guy here. Thanks for joining us, John. Maximus says, the Philippine condo bubble would have to burst before I would invest in those. House and lot is a better investment, but foreigners are not allowed to own real estate unless they put it in Panay's wife. That's not totally true for condos, Maximus. You can own a condo. You just can't own the land. A condo, you don't own the land. You just own the place. And when they get ready to knock it down, you lose your investment. So just FYI. So if they decide to knock it down after 30 years, then you're done. If they decide to knock it down 20 years, you're done. Roy Jones says, you're better off renting. Don't tie yourself down in case you want to leave for a better place. Something comes up. I agree, Roy. Yeah. I tell people to rent. It's nice to own sometimes too, but I mean, renting is good. Francisco Fletes says, took 3 months to convert my Taurus visa to a SRV. Yeah, it's a hard process, Francisco. You know, I do know about that process. I've helped many people do that. So, and Mary Rose has done a ton of people, the agent I recommend. John C. says, San Pedro, California can be dangerous too. Yeah, it can. Rob Mar 40 says, when my wife buys land or builds in the PH, she sends money via MoneyWise. Wise is usually has the best exchange rate. So there you go. Whoever that was that asked. She cash flows her projects with her monthly income. Okay. Roy Jones, how's dating for seniors in Belize? It's actually not that bad, Roy. You know, there's a lot of beautiful women down there. Even if you like a woman like in her 30s or something like that, that's okay there. Even in the 20s, it's the same as the Philippines, basically. Not a problem. You know, I mean, I was down there. I didn't have any problems at all. You know, the girls are really beautiful too in San Ignacio. You know, it's just FYI. Also out in Key Cocker. Key Cocker is really nice. That's just off the coast. It's an island off the coast. It's a nice little island too. Kind of a funky little island, but it's nice. Let's see. Maximus says, I would say rent for a few years in the Philippines, travel around, see where you eventually want to set roots down. If you are set and settling down, maybe buy, but rent is still cheaper. Yeah, rent's cheap here, guys. I mean, look at me. I pay $80 for this place, and this place is a good sized place. It's a 1 bedroom, but the 1 bedroom is so big we divided it into 2. You know. Let's see. Paul Jones says, yes, I was told the immigration office in Naga City, the only way to get a visa extension after 3 years was to go to the main immigration office in Manila. Thanks, Paul. That's good to know. So they're only given 2 months, though. A lot of places in the world, crime rates have increased due to COVID. Have you noticed news or stories increase in the PI? Not really. No, I haven't really noticed any stories of more crime or anything like that. Actually, I think it's quite the opposite around here anyway. Maybe up in Manila. Maybe in Manila it has. Red Lightning says, I'll have to ask for help when I get there about buying a condo. Thanks for your help, Steve. You do an awesome job with giving us good advice. Thanks, Red Lightning. I appreciate that. Wendell Davenport says, hi, Steve. Appreciate your advice and honesty. Thanks, Wendell. John C. really can't get around all fees. Fees are part of the given. Some ways are more or less expensive. You're right. I mean, the fees are just part of doing business. Kaparn says, Jeff Mackey, regarding sending large amounts of money, channel My PI Dream did a video on that when building a house. He used FX services to get the best value. There's many services out there, guys. Jeff, there's many services out there. I mean, like I said, I do Western Union because I feel safe with them. You know, it's one of the best companies out there. But there's other companies that are just as good coming up. You know, there's so much financial tech out there, you know, with apps and stuff like that. The lowest fees are via World Remit and Wise. X Transfer was. It's just Wise now, I guess. Okay, Sinful says LOL refreshed. Let's see. Brian Adamson says, message retracted. Francisco Fletes says, no, I did it through here. That must have been hard, Francisco. I can't imagine doing. I know you can probably do it from here, but it's hard. Because of the money transfer stuff has to be done from outside the country. Didn't have to go back. That's interesting. So how did you do the apostles back there and stuff? You had somebody else do them, or did you mail them back? Because the apostles had to be done. Did you do it recently? Because I know for a while you could do the red ribbons here, but now they don't do that. So that kind of makes it harder. They make it almost impossible, so you have to go back to the States. But I know you can do it, but it's really, really hard. Best way to send money is bank to bank. Use PNB. Yep, let's see. PNB pulling money out of my Capital One account can do dollar to peso or even better, dollar to dollar account. I have both. He says, yeah, you can do a lot of that stuff with Western Union too. Western Union gives you a lot of different choices. If you have the app. If you don't have the app, then you don't have all the choices. And it's cheaper with the app. And they also give you points so that you can use it sometimes for free transfers later. Okay? That's his. Francisco Fletes says they allow you to waive a lot of the apostles during COVID. I haven't heard that because I'll have to ask my agent about that to see if that's still true. Because I know they haven't. The PRA has been really almost like kind of shut down, but they're back up for 50 and over. But if that's true, she would know that. And she hasn't mentioned that to anybody. I know she's working with people, so she might be working with people to try to get them done like you got done. Maybe during the COVID, as quick as she can get those people through. So it might. I'm not saying you're lying to me. I'm just saying I know it's hard. So yeah, they might be waiving some of the apostles. That might be true. Maybe they're doing back to red ribbons for a while or something. But I'll have to ask Mary Rose about that because she would know about that. With the $1,500 pension, what amount of retirement money saved do you recommend a single guy to retire in the Philippines? Wow, $1,500 pension, man. I don't know what age you are. I'd have to really sit down and talk. I mean, not sit down and talk with you, but talk with you on the phone or whatever about that, JM. Because it really depends on your age. If you're in your 50s, early 60s, you should have at least like $25,000 in cash, at least for an emergency. I would say, somewhere around there. And as you get older, more, because $1,500 is not gonna be good for somebody in their late 60s because the insurance is just sky high. Okay, and you're gonna need, like I said, you're gonna need emergency fund. You're also gonna need a startup fund. Marco Polo Adventures says, good day, Steve. I will do a 13A when my wife gets her dual and we return someday. Sounds like a good deal. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, I was going to be on tourist only, but did it all from here when I saw writing on the wall with COVID. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Let's see. Wendell Davenport says, can I go to any ATM and take money out? Yeah, pretty much. What bank do you recommend here in the Philippines? BDO. BDO. There's other banks you can go to too. Occasionally I use China Bank. I don't like to use China Bank, but I do use it sometimes. And there's other banks too I've used. Trading with Rick. I've used MoneyGram, Remitly, Zoom, Western Union, all very high exchange rates and some fees sometimes. Yeah. Brian Adams says, my Filipino wife and I want to buy a house and a lot. Are the tradesmen there easy to work with if I want to renovate a rundown property? Yeah. If there's talk to some people, ask around, go to some place where you see somebody building a house and talk to them. That's the best way to do it. And that way you get to see some of their work firsthand, That's what I would say. I mean, there's a house down the street here that's beautiful. And if I was going to build a house, I'd ask, who they hired. So, that's the way to go about it. Don't just hire somebody willy-nilly because it won't work out good. Let's see. Paul Osborne. Have here that Charles Schwab account is the best for transfers ATM to the PH. Probably. They reimburse your account for ATM fees. Charles Schwab and Ameritrade are the same now. Ameritrade is the same thing. So, but if you're going to open an account, open Charles Schwab because Ameritrade soon is going to become Charles Schwab. David C., new to your channel, hello from Yorktown, Virginia. Welcome aboard, Dave. Thanks for joining us tonight. Let's see. Paul Jones, there is only one BABK ATM without a fee for overseas cards, HSBC. I don't pay any fees on any of my ATM things because my Metro Credit Union reimburses me at the end of each year. So let's see. Trading with Rich says, Wendell, try Philippine National Bank or BDO. Beware, there are some weird rules that are not used in the West. Let's see, Francisco says, even did the bank transfer from here, just called USAA back home, and they wired the SRV deposit to the DBP. Interesting. That's good to know. You know, I'm gonna have to research that a little bit more and talk to the lady that I work with, and maybe I'll do a video on that. Let's see. John C says Fidelity also has reimbursement for ATM fees. Surprised me. Now have their ATM card. Okay, that's good. Let's see. Olivia T says Wendell Davenport BPI if you stay in the three big cities, otherwise BDO. Let's see. JGBK says Chase covers all ATM, including foreign fees, even exchange. JGBK says, but you need balances. Okay, so you probably some of those accounts you need like high balances and stuff. I do know that. Let's see. Steve Ford says, I was sending money to my girlfriend from France. Bank said it is a high-risk country. Took me 4 days and lots of proof to send. Did you know this? I was using Remitly. No problem. Yeah, I've heard some places will give you problems when you're trying to send money. You got to be careful. That's why I use Western Union. You know, because I've had problems with some of those other places that are similar to Western Union. I've actually had problems because when you start sending higher amounts of money, you have problems with Western Union. It slides through like nothing, you know. David C says, Steve, I watched some of your earlier videos but forgot what island you're staying on. I'm in Luzon. I'm just below Manila. I'm in Tracy Martinez. I was stationed at Wallace ASN in San Fernando La Union, Luzon, 86 to 90. Miss PI looking at retiring there. It's a good place. You'll like it, David. You'll enjoy it. Christopher Leroy, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Check in. I didn't get the notice. Is this one of them last minutes? Yeah, it is, Christopher. I'm gonna set up a schedule sometime this week, and do that. Stick to that schedule, and I'm gonna do a few surprise live streams still, though. Okay, so I will do some sort of schedule here, but it'll be Manila time. Okay, Chris? So we will do that. Sinful says, thanks, Steve, for the live stream and chat. Going to get ready for my trip. Thanks, Sinfuls. Take care, man. I appreciate you watching. Scooter G says, good evening, Steve from Houston. Enjoy your videos. Weird question. Do you have any medical conditions that have improved or vanished since moving to the PH? Any that have improved? Not really. None that I can think of, you know. Let's see. Olivia T says, any update from Palawan? Nothing. I think you're referring to the Chinese thing off the coast, maybe. Linda Faber, Steve, do you still have your bank account here? How do you get it there? We will move back as soon as it clears. We have to sell everything. Can you advise us? Let's see. Do you still have your bank account here? I have my bank account in the U.S. Yeah, I have the Metro Credit Union account. That's what I'm with. Let's see. Linda, if you want to send me an email at steven5975@yahoo.com, and Steven is with a V, and just ask me for my phone number, and we can chat. You know, if you have any questions, like big questions, we can talk about that. I'm not sure what you're trying to get at about the bank thing. So just email me the question, or you can email me and ask for my phone number. Say, hi, this is Linda, you know. Let's see. Rick DeVries says, Steve, what are apostles? It's not spelled like that, though. It's spelled totally different. It's not apostles. Apostles is kind of like, it's like a notary of a notary. It's like somebody else notarizes it, and then it gets notarized like kind of again. It's like an official notary. It's totally different. Francisco Fletes says the whole milk process, start to finish, took 3 months. No, I thought I said whole milk. The whole process, start to finish, took 3 months. That's interesting. Steve Day says, I have had problems with Western Union. They closed my account because I wanted to send funds to the Philippines. I have better customer service. Well, that's weird that they closed your account to the Philippines. You know, that's unusual. That's I've never heard of that. Let's see. David C. says, when it comes looking at island hopping and the PI before deciding on a place to retire, before I apply for an SRV, I will come on a regular visa. Do I get 90 days on a regular visa? No. You get 30 days, but you have to get a ticket showing that you're going someplace else within 30 days. So it's kind of like called a throwaway ticket, David. So you need to buy a ticket that you can change if you can. That you can sometimes you can buy that insurance or whatever. Okay? With all the things that are going on right now, I'm not even sure that they're even selling those types of tickets anymore. Okay, so you might have to all you need is an onward ticket. So buy an onward ticket for like Singapore or something like that, okay? When the time comes. That'll be a throwaway ticket, and Singapore is cheap. Rather than buy a return trip ticket back to the States or wherever you're from, okay? If you need to talk about that, you can, like I said, you can call me too. You can send me an email, okay? Francisco Fletes says, they make you fill out an affidavit where you promise once you can travel abroad to get the apostles or go to the embassy, you'll turn it into the PRA, but they grant the visa. Okay, I got it. All right, that makes sense now. That's interesting. Thank you for letting me know that, Francisco, because I'm gonna have to talk to my agent more about that. That's interesting, because I think she's actually doing that now with some people, because she said she was doing something, but she didn't really get into details about that. But I want to know more about that, so I'm gonna have to give her a call, because that might be a way for some people to stay here. Kevin Grove says, hello, are you familiar with TRICARE military healthcare insurance? Yeah, there's hospitals here that take TRICARE. Okay, one of them is actually not far from here. Level of madness. Need cash? Hit the blood bank. O positive will get you paid. Blow up like the world trade. Okay. Olivia T says, I have PLD subscription since 1 year. There even a lease contract is over. Can't cancel it from abroad. That's terrible, man. Yeah, PLD is kind of brutal. I know they want you to go in there and do it. That's ridiculous. And Billy Nolan says, hi, good day. How you doing, Billy? Kay Fox says, hi, Stephen. Hope you're fine. 4 stars for your last vlog. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Any stars is good. I know they're not perfect, but I do the best I can. Linda Faber says, thank you so much for your vlog today. Made me feel like I've known you personally. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate that. I think you're talking about the vlog I did about like community and stuff. Let's see. Milo says, to red lightning, condos in the Philippines are so overvalued. If you see at ordinary income people have here on 10,000 to 20,000 pesos monthly, you will never afford even a small condo. That's true, man. Yeah, most people over here can't afford that. David C., are you giving out the vaccine shots where you are? Are you retired vet? Heard you could get at the VA in Manila. Yeah, they're giving them out in Manila, David. They are giving them out in Manila. You have to put your name in for them. John C. says, buy from Oregon honeydews. Okay. Let's see. Thanks for joining us, John. I appreciate it. Dave says, Steve, thanks for the great information in your work for your viewers. You still a believer in the ARC fund, which is down quite a bit? I think it is a good fund as long as your horizon is long term. Yeah, Dave, I love, I just heard today that she's throwing money in way undervalued funds because it's gone down. So she's taken money out of things like Apple, and which is almost like a cash fund kind of, and Apple didn't go down that much. So she took it out of there and put it in some stocks that had dropped a lot, which are really valued higher than that just because of what's going on right now. So she knows what she's doing, because she can't have a lot of cash on hand. So she puts it in certain stocks like Apple, and she takes it out of those places and then throws it into the undervalued stock. So I think she's smart. She's smarter than people give her credit for. I wouldn't worry about it, Dave. Not at all. I'm not worried about it. Actually, I'm investing more right now because you can. I think if you invest now, you're going to make a lot of money on your money. You know. Frank Kiska, hi from Budapest, Hungary. Can you speak about the tourist visa update? There's really nothing going on in the tourist. I'm waiting for news myself, so we're waiting to see. If I see anything or hear anything, I'll let you know. Okay, I've been trying to watch any stuff on that, but there's really not too much information worth disseminating right now. JGBK, I think many of the expat vloggers in the Philippines who say they self-insure either don't really do it or they also use it as an emergency fund, which can be dangerous long term. Yes, you're right. You need to have separate accounts for the emergency fund and then a self-funding account. You can do it with both as long as it's large enough, but I think you're right. A lot of people here don't know what they're doing. I hear a lot of people here have no insurance and no real emergency fund over 10,000. Most people don't have an emergency fund over 10,000 here, unfortunately. Polycarp says, hi from the van life. Got a load from Detroit to Oklahoma City. Enjoying your show. Thanks, Polycarp. Let's see. Kaparn says, do people get refused entry if they don't have an onward ticket? I'm sure they do, or they give you a chance to buy the onward ticket. Okay, Kaparn? I think they probably ask for that onward ticket before you even get on the plane, to be honest with you. The airlines know what they're doing, But yeah, if you showed up here without it, I'm sure they'd probably just put you on another plane or make you buy a ticket. But you have to have that ticket, But they make sure before you come here. At least the airline I was going on did. Steve, thanks for all the useful information. As I get closer to my retirement date, a few years away, I'll reach out to you. Yeah, David, anytime, man. That's open to everybody. I tell everybody, as long as I have time to answer, I answer. Zane says, hey Steve, I checked out Wonder Hussy. She's amazing. You were right. Yeah, she's funny too. Wonder Hussy's, for you guys that don't know, Wonder Hussy is a vlogger, and she's very funny. And she shows a lot of neat places, and she goes out to these places out in Nevada in the desert and stuff. And it's kind of cool, Let's see. He says, I've been to many of the hot springs and places that she visits here in Western the United States. Yeah, Zane, she's pretty cool. She's an interesting person. Let's see. Also watch Foresty Forest, Zane. He's interesting too. But yeah, Wonder Hussy's a riot. Joe Cunningham, when transferring funds through Western Union, be careful of what you select on the purpose of transfer. They can be very strict on this. I agree on that, Joe. You're right. You're 100% right on that. I think you have to put for like household use. I forget what it was. It was for like if you're or child support or something like that. That's the best way to put it. Unless you have something else, Joe. Joe and I talked on the phone the other day. Thanks for adding that, Joe. I forgot all about that. Paul Osborne says, should I just get the tourist visa when nearing the 3-year limit, just make a visa run to another country, get my passport stamped, and return to the PH and get a new tourist visa? Yeah, Paul, that's kind of like up to the individual. I tell people if you can afford the SRRV retirement visa, get that, because if we go through this again someday in the future, you don't want to get kicked out after 3 years. You know what I mean? If you can't get back in because there's another pandemic or something, we're going to be, in trouble over here. Rob Mars, some of these money transfer services will suspend or terminate your account if you have excessive number of transfers or exceed their monthly dollar limit. Read the details. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Rob Mar. The Sunday Hour. Hi, Steve. Keith Trask, UK. Just saw it where you live. How are things there? Things are good, man. We're living good over here. Francisco Fletes says the HSBC Premier account allows you to enjoy banking in multiple countries. Minimum deposit to open the account is 3 million PHP. That's a lot of money, man. Kaparn says Zane Underwood, Wonder Hussy has Vimeo account. She's always negative. Yeah, that's what she used to do in the past. She was a model, a nude model. She wasn't like in porn or anything like that, but she was a nude model, Kaparn. But she's you know, she's pretty interesting. She does really interesting stuff out in the desert, like showing these ghost towns and things like that. She gets a little bit off off track sometimes, but most of her stuff is pretty good. If you watch her older ones, go back and watch her older stuff. Her newest stuff is like kind of, you know, some of it I don't like, you know, but I do like her older stuff. But yeah, she was a nude model in the past. I mean, she tells you that too. She's, you know. Another blogger just posted that there was a change from 7 to 14-day quarantine in the PHP. That might be true. I haven't seen that yet, but I believe I read some. I think I read something about that the other day. I think you're correct on that. I think that's changed because of the ECQ. Let's see, Brooke Snyder, great interview on CNBC with Kathy Wood yesterday, Friday. She went into great detail about her funds and that she was happy for the drop as it allows her to invest in more into additional stocks. Yeah, what she does is, like I've told somebody else this today, I think I might have just mentioned it on here, Brooke, is she uses some companies that don't go down when the rest of the stocks go down, like Apple. And what she does is pulls out of Apple and uses that as like a cash account, because she's not allowed to hold cash in those ETFs. So what she does is she pulls it out of there and then invests in all these stocks that went down, and then goes back into Apple when they go back up. You know, so she's really smart. She's very savvy, and I think we're going to see like great gains from her in the long term. Mark my words on it. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see some great stuff from her because she's really savvy on what she does. ARK ETFs stocks are really, really good. Like ARK, they have the new ones, the space one, ARK X, and they have a whole bunch of other ones. Look up ARK ETF funds, and you'll see a lot of stuff online about them. There's also a lot of videos out there about them. Morning. Let's see. Eric says, "Morning from here, Steve. Hope all things are well as they can be anyways. Going to look for a new electric guitar today. I'm happy as a sailor in a room full of hookers." Okay. Shane Mulligan says, "Just want to say hi from Yorkshire, England. Loving the advice." Thanks, Shane. I appreciate it. "What is the best debit card to have over there? What bank do I need here in the United States, North Carolina?" What is the best debit card over there? I use BDO over here. I think that's what you're asking. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. I mean, it's the best bank over here. I open an account there. It's pretty easy to do. Zane's having a good laugh. Zane Underwood. "Steve, how do you feel about gold and silver?" In the Philippines, good luck with that. It's very hard to find gold and silver over here. You can't buy like bullion and stuff like that like in the United States. It just doesn't happen over here. As far as back in the U.S., I like gold and silver. You know, I used to sell gold and silver a long, long time ago. You know, I used to deal mostly with silver actually, but a lot of gold too. "Can you talk about the push to accept vaccinated travelers to the Philippines?" There are people in here pushing. That's happening. There are people. There are government officials. They want to see you come in. They want to open up tourism too. You know, and vaccinated visitors would definitely help. The question is it going to happen? You know, I mean, it's everything in the Philippines is slow. When it comes to the government, it's just so slow. It's just the way it is here. I mean, you just something you have to accept here when you live here. Crypto and PI, of course, Kathy Wood is investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. She invested in Coinbase, but if she can invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum, she probably will. I don't think she is right now, though. I don't think that can be a part of that ETF. Most of those ETFs, it's just not part of it. So I think you're wrong on that crypto and PI. But yeah, she might want to in the future. That would fall under fintech. Okay, I'm pretty sure it would fall under the fintech ETF that she has. Kaparn says, "It's a shame you can't get an account with an international bank like HSBC and have a linked account in your own country in the Philippines." Yeah, you can. There's international accounts, but there's a little bit of homework involved with those, and I'm not sure how to do those. I'm going to actually do some research on that sometime and see if it's worth doing a video on, because it might be. Because there are some banks that do have international accounts, but you do have to have a large sum of money in there too. Okay. Kathy Wood expects 25 to 35% returns, up from the 15 to 25% previously, due to her fund's current correction and asset reallocation. You know something, Rob Marr? I think you're right on that. I think we're going to see that. And the question is, like I have a lot of money in Tesla. The question is, do I want to take some money out of Tesla to throw it in there to get that extra amount? And it might be worth it. I'm thinking about that. I mean, I'm not on here to give, like stock advice, but I mean, I'll tell you what I do. I know a lot of you guys are interested in that. Have you got an account with a bank in the Philippines? Yes, I have BDO, Kaparn. Francisco Fletes, when are we going to Red Lobster or Outback Steakhouse in Pasay? SMMOA, Steve. LOL. Yeah, man, if you ever want to meet and go there, I'm willing to meet, but it has to be after this ECQ stuff, because I don't even know if they're open, to be honest with you. A lot of restaurants right now are closed because of all the changes. It has to be open. I don't think Outback and Red Lobster are open. I love Red Lobster. I go there as much as I can. Linda Faber, we've got both our vaccines. Did you, or are you? I did work in the hospital for 30 years, so I'm a believer. Well, Linda, I'm kind of on the fence about that right now. The VA is giving it out, and when they call me, I'll make a decision. I put myself on the appointment list, but I'm still up in the air about that, Linda. So I don't know, because it's not like the old vaccines where they're giving you something that gives you like the fake, dead COVID, and then your body fights it off. I don't like the way this one is, because you're going to have to get boosters on this, and I'm not so keen on boosters, except for pneumonia. I do get boosters on pneumonia. Do you get because I've had pneumonia like 7 or 8 times. Christopher Leroy says, do you get a better premium for the actually silver bar there? Yeah, that's really high over here to buy silver. I do know that, because I've looked it up over here to see how easy it is to buy. It's not easy to buy. It's very expensive. And yeah, there is a huge premium over here. And when you go to sell it, I'm sure they really bite you on that too. Cebu is pushing, Milo says, Cebu is pushing to open up again, since tourist industry and real estate hurt a lot. Lots of condos risk if they can't pay monthly mortgage, since they have lost jobs. Maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on throughout the Philippines and the United States, Milo. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next year, because I think it's going to cause a lot of financial strife all over the place. Kaparn, is it difficult for a foreigner to open a bank account in the Philippines? No, I did a thing on that just recently. So go back to my videos, Kaparn, and you can see that. We talk about that. It's not that difficult. It's not. North Carolina here too. Welcome aboard, North Carolina. We're just about getting ready to end this in a few minutes here. Rob, but we'll do more in the future. I'll put out the times. I'll try to put out the times, because I'm going to do at least one scheduled thing each week. Compounding in time in the market is the greatest wealth builder in retirement. You're right, Rob Marr. And you know what? Kathy Wood is really super smart on that. She's 65 years old. I hope she stays with it. I hope she's around, still doing this in 10 years, because she is getting older. She's not young. I believe she's I heard she's 65. 30 and a wake up. What's going on? Heading to Hawaii for 2 months soon. Then probably Thailand. Still love the PI content though. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Sorry, Case. My concern is if employer make a vaccine mandatory, I guess I'll be jobless. You know what, sorry, Case? That it actually is over here if you're studying as a nurse. Okay, because my girlfriend's daughter, she's studying as a nurse over here, and she was told she has to get the shot, and it's the Sinovac shot. So that's what's going on with that. Let's see. Vegas guy in the Philippines says Wells Fargo has reciprocal with PNB, 1 hour transfers from bank to bank, but you have to arrange everything in the States before you get there. Okay, that's good to know, man. Checking in from Connecticut. Welcome aboard, Sperlin Edwards. Let's see, Brooke Schneider, Steve-O, check out the Marathon stock. Symbol MARA, largest Bitcoin miner in the world. Marathon actually used to be an oil stock, I believe, out in the Dakotas. I was actually in Marathon for a while, but not the one you're talking about. Doesn't sell coins, also making only U.S.-friendly Virgin Bitcoin. Tom Pear, North Carolina, watching here as well. Not giving up the dream, but searching other places in the meantime. Yeah, Tom, don't give up. You know, go to Belize for a while, or Mexico. You might actually like Mexico. There's parts of Mexico that are really nice. But Tom, check out San Ignacio. San Ignacio, it's inland in Belize, okay, or Key Cocker. San Ignacio is cheap though, and it's actually a really kind of a nice area, and the people there are really awesome. Let's see. Zane Underwood, I can tell you, Steve, that the number one thing I am seeing here now in the States is inflation. We're seeing it here, man. Zane, we're seeing it here. SR Blessed Scratcher, thank you for the great live. Thanks, SR. Zane Underwood, are you going up around us all the time in price? Are going up around oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Jack McInvoy says, I don't use a debit card at all. I usually just bring a few dollars with me. Yeah, it's good to have a debit card, though, for emergencies. Manila VA Clinic is giving the Pfizer vaccine for enrolled veterans now. Yeah, they are, Romar. Yes, Kathy is 65. That's what I thought, because I just read that the other day. Yeah, so hopefully she's around for a long time. I don't think she's going to retire anytime soon. She looks pretty healthy. Let's see. Linda says, could you do these again, Steve, on the same day, weekend, no work? Sure. You know what? I'm gonna have to mark that down so I remember that, and we can do this maybe next week at the same time. 30 in a wake up. I got J&J from the VA a couple of months ago. All good so far. Jenny Finnegan says hello from Texas. Hello, Jenky. Peacemaker says sup, Kansas. But hey guys, I'm gonna take off now. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm starting to lose my voice here. But God bless, guys, and thank you for joining, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching and subscribing and everything like that. And you guys are really a blessing on my channel. Really are. We have a really good bunch of subscribers, and they talk amongst each other and everything. All you guys talk amongst each other in the comments, and I'm really happy about that. By the way, guys, some of you guys are saying that I'm deleting you sometimes, and when you post something, it doesn't go up till it gets approved, and sometimes I don't get to it till like 12 hours later or something like that. So just be aware of that. I don't think anybody's getting deleted. I rarely delete somebody unless they really attack me or something like that. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. Okay, guys? Thank you for watching again, guys.